Mind Control 101. Mind control is usually, in my experience, it's like a yo-yo effect. It's kind of a swing effect. So it's extremes. So when somebody is trying to manipulate your mind, and I'm not even saying that they're doing it intentionally. I think a lot of people do things unintentionally, which is wild. It's actually wild. But it's just like sort of their conditioning or something, or it's something that that's ingrained into them. But mind control is like, it's approval. So it's initial approval. Um, it's mutual respect. We align with, I can respect you. I want to be your friend. Oh, I even admire you. Oh, everything you're saying is, I agree with. Everything you're saying is great. And then it's, man, the ones that are really good at it are subtle in the opposite end of that spectrum. So they'll swing you back, like just very um, almost almost unknowing to you. The ones that are really good at it, man, they can do it without you even knowing. Because they have to buy you in. They have to get you in first. They have to have you believing that you guys are on the same team. And not only that you guys are on the same team, but that they're like they're a ride or die for you or something like that. Or they see you and love you in a way that nobody else does. They see a part of you that nobody else does. They'll make you feel special in a way that like nobody else does. So it's wild that they're able to do this. But then, what they'll do is, because of that, because of this like this ingratiation towards you, this propitiate. That's a word, propitiation. Because of that, that's laid the groundwork for, oh, they will, now you know that they can give you props, that they are like a good person, and they think the best of you. It's a person that thinks the best of you. That's what they want to lay the groundwork of. I'm a person that thinks the best of you and sees you in the best possible light. So they lay that groundwork. I think the best of you and I see you in the best possible light. That's the groundwork. That's the foundation. So you're thinking, okay, this person thinks the best of me. They see me in the best possible light. Okay, so, I can trust them. They see they see the best of me. So like, if they say that something's wrong, then it must be. Ah, 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 ah. Yes, this is it. This is it, right? They say that something's wrong, then it must be. And usually it starts out very, very subtle, very respectfully, very subtly, respectfully wrong. They're going to see if they can get you kind of buying into it. And then it's going to be, they're going to use extreme forms of, they're going to use guilt and shame. And they're going to make you think that there's something wrong with you, that you need to get better in some way, that you're failing in a certain way. This is mind control like 101. And oftentimes, mind control, the key thing about mind control, and this is what like cult leaders use, is like it's always infinitely complex. There's always more things that you didn't know about. There's more conditions that you didn't know about. It's never as simple as you think. It's constantly evolving. The standards that you need to meet, the requirements that you need to meet are constantly evolving. Constant evolution, constant change. You can never keep up with it. As soon as you feel like you've met the criteria that this person has set for you, or this group has set for you, as soon as you met some certain criteria, oh well, now no, it's not that simple. Yeah, that's just one step. Now you have more things to do. Or there's always something that you haven't done. There's two different things that I'm talking about here. One would be like cult leader stuff. And that's like they want you to think that it's never that simple when it is that simple. The biggest lie that cult leaders tell is like, it's not that simple. They want you to believe that it's not that simple. It's complex. It's super complex. It's ever evolving complexity that only they know. And they're going to introduce the next step. There will be more next steps. It's not as simple as, like, for example, in the semen retention community, it's not as simple as just retaining your seed and just keep on going back to the drawing board, failing, keep on going, just consistency every single day, and eventually you'll conquer lust. They can't. That's not something that people can sell you on. They can't get you into a group like that. They can't get you into a following like that. They can't have control over you like that. People can't have control over you by just telling you it's simple. It's simple. All you need to do is just stay consistent, keep at it, love yourself, and just consistency is the main thing. Just keep trying. Just keep trying. And yeah, there it is. There it is. They don't want to tell you that, man. They're not going to tell you that. It's never that simple. It's not that simple. There's going to be steps. It's not only semen retention. It's this, and then there's this. And then there's this. If you really want to take it to the next level, then you're going to have to do this. And then there's this. And then if you really want to get the best out of you, well, then you incorporate this in that way. And then, well, we haven't even touched on this thing, but you guys aren't ready for that yet. It's constant. It's constant. You can never. This is not just like semen retention cult leaders, but like this will be other cult leaders as well. I mean, this is just cult like 101. It's constant, just like they want you that at first they get you in the door by being good with you, maybe making you feel important. They make smaller people feel important. That's what they do. They make smaller people feel important. They might prop them up, put them up on give them maybe a platform of some sort in a certain way, help them out in a certain way, make deals, get people ingratiated to you, get them sort of devoted to you in a little bit, or looking at you in a positive light. Yeah, we're on the same team. I helped you out, brother. I helped you out. We're on the same team. That's just the beginning. That's how they get you in the door. And then it's this constant, like, you got to meet these. Only they know how to achieve like the pinnacles and the next step and the next step, and everything will get infinitely complex and weird, and you won't really know. They just want you to lose your mind. They'll absolutely obliterate your mind in this process, because they don't want you knowing up from down. They don't want you knowing right from left. They want to tell you what's up and what's down. They want to tell you what's right and what's left. That's the whole get. And then when they get you with the guilt and the shame and this telling you that, no, you're thinking about this wrong, you need to do this. It has to be like this. And then they'll like guilt you and shame you and be like, you'll never achieve this, or you're struggling with this because you're not doing this. And you'll never get to this point because you're not doing this. And it's a constant like, and it'll get even more. The further you get into them, the further this metastasizes, this sort of cult metastasizes, all these relationships and stuff. It'll just get worse and worse and worse. It'll get worse and worse and worse. And slowly but surely, they're eating your mind. They're basically just eating your mind. They're basically just, I swear, they're like mind devourers. They're soulless people. Soulless to the core. Soulless. I remember this one dude that was making semen retention content that I remember the first time that I watched him. And I only remembered this today. But I remember the first video I ever clicked on of his. And he was staring like right into the camera, just walking in nature, just staring right into the camera. And I remember watching it and I thought, what the fuck is this? Like, it just was off-putting. There was something weird. There was something weird about the cadence that he spoke with. There was something weird about he just looked into the camera the entire time and was just like saying all the this nonsense about like semen retention, all the right things, right? All the buzzwords, all the things that you've heard, saying all this incredible stuff. And he's just like, oh, he's just speaking with this slow cadence. And I'm just like, I remember watching that and I was like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck is this? And then I forgot about it. I honestly forgot about it. But I remember now. Literally my first impression, my first reaction of this dude was, holy shit. What the fuck? Like something was off-putting. Something was just lit. But man, all these dudes in the SR community, man, you guys are gonna have to. A lot of dudes are just gonna learn the hard way, man, because all these dudes are, a lot of them are just gonna be preyed upon. But man, I'm gonna try to do my best man, to prevent this from happening. But but then when it's like relationships, when it's like just like friendships or relationships, not even like you're not even in a cult, it'll just be like, but it'll be the same thing though. It'll be like you never know if you're gonna do something. You never know what you're gonna do that'll like just set them off. But they get you to that point slowly. It's like slow. They use all this grand love and affection because they want you to feel overwhelmed with love and joy. And you're like, oh my God. They want you to just be weak for that feeling. They can make you feel extremely loved. This is the crazy thing about manipulation. The most expert manipulators, I'm telling you, top tier, top of the top, they can make you feel so loved. They can make it's over the top, bro. They can make you feel just amazing. They can make you feel amazing. They'll praise you and just all this lovey-dovey stuff because they have to do that, because that's the setup, because they couldn't just be who they really are, which is like they'll tear you to shreds in the very next moment, or an hour later, or 3 hours later, and for seemingly nothing. They will literally tear you to shreds. And even better than this, they'll do it like the most passive aggressive sort of tactics, the subtle like looks, they want you to just like, it's like they want you to be hanging on their every like look and body language and every utterance. Like they want you to just be wrapped around their finger, just like all they have to do is just give you like a look, or just kind of act like, just give you some subtle thing, and you being like, oh, and you feel guilty and all this stuff. That's when they're at their peak, man. They don't even have to go like all out and just like, they don't have to like scream or yell or tell you any like BS or anything like that, or use like extreme guilt or shame. Like they can just use very subtle. It's very subtle. That's when their claws are in deep. That's when their tentacles are in deep, and you're fucked basically, and unless you really start to catch on. Some people never catch on, and these are their relationships that they're in. Like these are their relationships with their siblings, with their friends, with their employers, with their parents. Like these are the relationships they've known their entire lives. And they don't know anything else. Like that's what they know. That's what they feel is love. Like they feel this trauma. It's a trauma bond. That's what they feel is love. That is their love. That is their love. They don't know love in any other way. It's very strange for them to just have like a normal person who just loves them even when they're disagreeing with them, even when they're acting contrary to what they want them to act like, or, they're doing something that they don't want them to do or whatever, or when they're prioritizing themselves over them. Like, people that are normal understand that. They understand, like, oh yeah, you need to be yourself sometimes, or I still love you. I'll still be here for you. I'm still your friend, or I'm still your girlfriend or boyfriend. Like, I understand. You're just like having a moment, or you disagree with me on this. That's fine. Like, we can agree to disagree or whatever. There is no agree to disagree with with somebody who's, people call them narcissists, people call them borderline personality disorder, people call them all types of stuff, but somebody who's extremely manipulative, who loves through trauma, they only know that. There is no agree to disagree. It's their way or it's no way, So, yeah, it's very wild. It's very interesting. But man, approval is like, they want you to be just gunning for their approval. They want to use that as sort of a control tactic. Approval is a control tactic. Approval is a control tactic. 100%. A lot of us men, we want to, I don't know. A lot of us men grow up with these dominant mothers and absent fathers and feminine fathers, and we were just conditioned from a young age to just seek female approval from our mother. And it's like, you're so conditioned, you don't even see how, like, this approval is literally embedded into your mind, and it's just an infection. It's just disease. It's a rot, and you have to get it out at like all costs. You have to get the female approval out at all costs. At all costs. At all costs. You have to get that out. You really have to get approval from everybody out. Approval is, it shouldn't, approval should not dictate what you do. Approval is control. Approval is a method of control. It is a method of control. It is meant to control people. Approval is meant to control people. It can be used and is used widely to control people. Approval doesn't mean that you're doing something right. All it means is that you're doing what others want you to do, that they approve of, that they see nothing wrong with, that they say is, that's palatable. This is palatable. Yeah, this is good. Nothing wrong with this here. To them, to society as a whole. That's what approval is. Now, it's not to say that you should actively act against any approval. It shouldn't be like, oh, they're approving of me, that means I'm doing something wrong, let me change. It doesn't mean that. Approval is fine, only if it's in accordance with how you feel that you're acting, how you feel that what you're acting is right, how you want to act out authentically and from the heart and truly, from a place of truth, from your own truth, from a place of loving yourself, from a place of speaking your own truth, not from a place of hurting anybody intentionally, because people all, they want to control you through saying that you hurt them with words, which is on them. It's not on you. Just for speaking your truth. That's not my problem. Yeah, man. It's all just gaslighting. But don't seek approval. Don't seek approval for the sake of just being approved. Like, you just want to be approved, you want to be loved. Like, that's death. That's literally like the death of your soul. The death of your soul will come from wanting to be approved and loved by all, by as many people as possible. It'll never happen. People will hate you regardless, but that is the death of your soul for sure. As a man, for sure, for sure. But I'm hungry as fuck. I gotta get some food in me. It's been a long couple days of work. And I have the day off tomorrow, so it's gonna be good. I'm gonna have to take some rest. Chill out. Although I'm gonna have tennis in the evening, so that's gonna be fun. All right. That's it. That's the video.